This story begins many years ago in a remote lab located on an isolated island. Inside, scientists were conducting dangerous experiments, combining dinosaur species to create new, massive creatures, powerful and incredibly deadly. But everything went wrong when a worker accidentally dropped a candy wrapper. It landed on a control panel, causing a system malfunction that triggered alarms. Several security doors started failing at once. Panic broke out. The entire lab descended into chaos as the mutant dinosaurs were about to escape. Amid the chaos, one unfortunate worker got trapped inside a cage. He couldn't get out in time, and one of the dinosaurs tore him apart. Fast forward to the present day. In the middle of a busy city, a sick dinosaur collapses right on the road. While authorities try to move it, we meet Martin, a wealthy investor, accompanied by a woman named Zora. Martin explains he's working on a top-secret project that involves extracting DNA from certain dinosaur species to create a revolutionary treatment that could cure multiple deadly diseases. Zora asks which species he's targeting. Martin replies that he's after the three largest known dinosaurs, one of them being the mosasaurus. Zora laughs, knowing that these species live on a heavily restricted island near Ecuador, where entry is strictly forbidden. Martin then reveals that the mission must be carried out in secret with a small, discreet team, and that's why he needs her. He wants Zora to join the expedition. At first, Zora refuses. The mission sounds far too dangerous, but she reconsiders when Martin offers her $10 million to go with him. The two then visit a museum to meet Dr. Henry, a world-renowned expert in prehistoric creatures. They explain their objective, emphasizing that the dinosaurs they seek are not just massive. They need living specimens, fossils, or remains won't cut it. They need warm, living blood to move forward with the treatment. Like Zora, Dr. Henry is initially hesitant. The risks are obvious. Zora quietly tells Martin to offer him money too. But Martin shakes his head, saying that won't work on someone like the doctor. Instead, he uses a different strategy. Martin reminds Dr. Henry that for all his credentials, he's only ever studied dinosaurs through fossils. If he wants to continue calling himself an expert, he needs to see these creatures up close with his own eyes. Otherwise, he's just another theorist, not a true authority. The words hit home. Dr. Henry starts to wonder if Martin is right. Maybe he does need to witness these creatures in person. Eventually, he agrees to join the mission. Then we meet Duncan, a seasoned boat captain and an old friend of Zora's. She suggested bringing him on board for the journey, but Duncan immediately voices concerns. Sailing to an island full of dangerous creatures is reckless. Not to mention it's completely illegal. He's especially worried about his boat, which cost him a fortune. All of this puts pressure on Martin. To convince Duncan, he ends up doubling Zora's original offer and instructs her to give a generous portion to Duncan. With that kind of money on the table, Duncan reluctantly agrees to join the mission. Next, we meet Bobby, a man with military training who's been brought along to protect the crew from any dangerous creatures. Once they're all aboard the ship and sailing toward their destination, Dr. Henry explains that he's prepared special darts designed for collecting blood samples. These darts must be fired from a distance of exactly 10 meter. Once they hit the dinosaur, the dart automatically draws blood, then ejects into the air and lands safely with a tiny parachute. This method ensures they get the sample without harming the animal. Not far from there, we're introduced to a family enjoying a casual cruise on their private boat. The father's name is Ruben. His youngest daughter is Isabella, and his oldest daughter, Teresa, is accompanied by her boyfriend, Xavier. During the trip, Ruben gets tired of steering and tells Teresa to wake up Xavier for his turn at the helm. Xavier comes out clearly still half asleep and asks for just one more hour to rest. Ruben's annoyed but lets it go. Suddenly, they spot something massive moving through the water nearby. It's the mosasaurus, a giant prehistoric marine predator. The creature doesn't seem interested in eating them. Instead, it rams the boat with its body, causing it to start flooding. It becomes clear the mosasaurus isn't hunting. It's defending its territory. And unfortunately, this family had unknowingly entered it. As their boat begins to sink, Ruben calls for help over the radio. Duncan, captain of the expedition ship, picks up the distress signal. He immediately tells the others they're close enough to intervene and help. But Martin, the businessman funding the mission, refuses. He insists they stick to their plan and head to the island. Duncan pushes back, reminding everyone that it's his boat and he'll decide where they go. In the end, he chooses to rescue the family. They arrive just in time and manage to pull the family aboard, but the family is shaken. They describe being attacked by a giant sea creature. This confirms to the team that the mosasaurus is nearby. Sure enough, the creature shows up again and rams their boat once more, but still doesn't try to eat them. Zora gets ready to collect a sample. She asks the crew to steer closer so she can take a clear shot. They move in and she nails the shot perfectly. The blood is extracted, and they've secured their first sample. But just when they think it's over, more aquatic dinosaurs emerge from the surrounding waters and begin to attack. In the chaos, Bobby, the one hired for protection, is the first to confront the creatures and the first to die in a brutal and horrifying way. The family is furious. They believed they were being rescued, but now realize they've been dragged into something far more dangerous. Teresa, the eldest daughter, tries to use the ship's radio to report their location and call for help. But doing so would expose the crew's secret mission, which no one is supposed to know about. Martin chases after her. They argue, and during the struggle, Teresa slips near the edge of the ship. Martin doesn't help her. Instead, he lets her fall. She hits the water, but Xavier jumps in after her and manages to save her life. At that point, the ship is out of control. The dinosaur attack damaged the navigation system, and the boat is headed straight for disaster. Everyone jumps overboard before the crash. Now, stranded at the edge of the island, the group drags what little they could salvage from the wreck. Just when they think they're safe, one of the amphibious dinosaurs, able to move on land as well, emerges from the jungle and devours one of Duncan's assistants. That moment sends the entire crew into full panic mode. But with no choice left, they try to pull themselves together and figure out what to do next. Zora tells the group that she left behind a specialized backup team, friends of hers, who've been instructed to come looking for them if she hasn't returned within 24 hours. Martin adds that there's an old abandoned lab somewhere in the middle of the island, and he's confident they'll be able to use its equipment to call for help if needed. So, while they're not completely stranded, their focus for now must be on collecting the remaining DNA samples. The exploration team heads deeper into the jungle, searching for the specific dinosaurs they need. Meanwhile, the rescued family, who ended up crashing on another part of the island, are also trying to find a way to communicate and call for a rescue. As night falls, the youngest girl, Isabella, stumbles upon a small, friendly dinosaur. It seems curious and gentle, and judging by its features, it may have come from the lab where those hybrid creatures were once created. That same night, Ruben has a heartfelt talk with Xavier, his daughter's boyfriend. He thanks him sincerely for jumping into the ocean to save Teresa. Ruben admits he never thought Xavier was right for his daughter, but now he sees just how wrong he was. He realizes there's no greater act of love than risking your life to save someone else. After the conversation, Xavier steps away from the group to relieve himself. Suddenly, a velociraptor appears behind him, ready to pounce. But at that exact moment, a massive winged creature swoops in out of nowhere and snatches the raptor away in an instant. It never noticed Xavier hiding nearby. Had it seen him, he likely wouldn't have survived. The next morning, the expedition team finally reaches the largest dinosaurs on the island. Thankfully, they're herbivores, but Dr. Henry warns that their predators definitely aren't. They'll have to act quickly and carefully to get the sample. They notice a pair of dinosaurs that appear to be bonded, possibly mates, standing close together. Seizing the moment, they fire the dart and collect the sample successfully. At the same time, Dr. Henry gently places his hand on one of the animals. For the first time in his life, he's touching a living dinosaur. He comments that it's nothing like working with fossils. It's overwhelming and surreal. Meanwhile, the family continues exploring on foot. In a moment of distraction, they fall into a hidden ravine. At the bottom, Teresa spots what looks like a small boat in the distance. She rushes toward it, hoping it could be their way off the island. But as she gets closer, she's horrified to find a dinosaur lying nearby. Its limbs have been torn off. Despite the fear, Teresa pushes forward, determined to bring the boat back to her family. But then she spots something even worse: a sleeping T-Rex just a few yards away. Teresa carefully grabs the boat and begins to pull it slowly, doing everything she can to stay silent. She knows this boat might be their only chance of escape. But as she drags it along, the sound eventually wakes the T-Rex, which begins to stir. Luckily for her, the dinosaur doesn't see anyone. It simply gets up and walks over to drink water nearby. The family quickly jumps into the boat to escape, but the T-Rex spots them and starts chasing after them. With no other choice, they leap into the water and try to hide in the depths, hoping the massive predator won't follow. Strangely, the T-Rex moves unusually slowly, giving the family just enough time to escape again and again until they finally wedge themselves between large rocks where the dinosaur can't reach them. That's how they survive. Meanwhile, the explorer team only needs one final sample, this time from the legendary flying dinosaur. But this mission will be the most dangerous yet. Instead of facing the creature directly, they decide to collect DNA from its eggs, hoping to avoid a deadly confrontation. They climb to the top of a mountain where they find the eggs and manage to extract a sample, but just as they finish, the mother of the baby dinosaurs shows up and she's furious. She immediately attacks. Zora and Dr. Henry are the closest and nearly get caught. but another crew member distracts the creature by making noise, drawing her attention. The dinosaur charges at him instead. Despite trying to escape, the man is caught and swallowed whole. The mission is now complete. The team stores all 3 DNA samples safely in a locked case and heads toward the abandoned laboratory to wait for rescue. Coincidentally, the family is also making their way to the same place. Once inside, both groups are reunited and waiting for a helicopter to pick them up. Teresa confronts Martin, accusing him of trying to kill her. In response, Martin chains the case with the samples to his wrist and pulls out a gun. He tells everyone to calm down, that they'll all leave together on the helicopter, take the samples to their destination, and get the family somewhere safe. He insists that everyone will be fine. Unfortunately, several dinosaurs are drawn to the area by the lights turning on at night. They storm the lab, attacking the explorers, who scramble to find places to hide. Martin and Zora hide under a car, while the others flee into underground pipes and tunnels, hoping to wait there until the helicopter arrives. But the dinosaurs are smart. They begin crawling into the pipes as well. Zora sees this and decides to take a different route to try and rescue the family. Martin, still holding the case, gets into a car and drives off to launch flares, hoping the helicopter will see them. The chopper is nearby, but begins to turn back due to the lack of visual confirmation. Just in time, the pilot sees Martin's flare and starts to return, but then out of nowhere, a massive mutant dinosaur appears. This monstrous creature grabs the helicopter with its hands and swallows it whole. When the others find out what happened, they panic and search for another way out through the pipes, but the final door is blocked. The young girl, Isabella, bravely crawls through a small opening to unlock it from the other side. Just as she does, the giant mutant dinosaur returns, ready to attack. Suddenly, Martin shows up in the car, drawing the creature's attention. The dinosaur turns on him and devours him instead. With the door now open, Duncan grabs a flare and tells everyone to run while he leads the monster away. Like a true hero, he drives off to protect them all. Zora, in tears, refuses to leave until she knows her friend is truly gone. But then, off in the distance, she sees a flare go up. Duncan is alive. They turn the boat around and manage to rescue him. As they sail back to safety with the sample secure, the group discusses what to do with them. In the end, Dr. Henry and Zora decide they won't sell the DNA to the highest bidder. Instead, they'll give it to the world so that the cure can belong to everyone, not just a privileged.